Good morning, children. How are you today? Today we are going to revise the countable noun and the uncountable noun, and then we are going to talk about some quantifiers. Today, the countable noun, we said before, it's the nouns that can be counted and can be singular or plural. Like example, the cow is useful. The cow is singular and we use it singular. And then the cars are yellow. Here is cars are plural and we use are. And then we can use before them, if they are singular, we can use a or an. Like for example, I write a letter or I eat an apple. So this is the countable noun. What about the uncountable noun? Cannot be counted. I cannot count them. What else? It's always singular only. So like rice is very healthy. Like pasta is a very nice food, and so on. And then we cannot use a or an before them because they are uncountable nouns. Like she drank Pepsi, like she likes pasta. Okay, we have to change the uncountable noun to countable noun. How can we do this? We do this by adding some specific words that helps us to count them. Like what? Like a bar of chocolate, like adding a packet of, and then a packet of tea, a packet of rice, a packet of pasta. What about a pinch of salt, a pinch of pepper, and so on. A clove of garlic. We can say a jar of jam. We can say a handful of nuts, and so on. We have many words that we can add before the uncountable noun to make them countable. This is the way how I can change the uncountable noun into countable noun. Now we are going to talk about some quantifiers. These quantifiers, the beginning is many and much. We are going to start with many and much. Many is for the countable noun, and we use it in all the sentences, affirmative and negative sentence, and we use it in the question too. For example, there are some tables in the room. For example, in the form of the negative, we can say there aren't much, there aren't many tables in the room, if you make it negative. And then much is for the uncountable noun. We use it for the negative sentence and questions. For example, there isn't much sugar in my tea. This is to use many and much. Many is for the countable nouns, and it is used in the affirmative and negative sentence and also in the question, while much is for the uncountable noun, and it's used for the negative sentence and questions. And now we have a lots of and lots of. A lot of and lots of is used for both countable and uncountable noun. I can use it with the affirmative sentence all the time, and it can be countable or uncountable. So I can say there is lots of sugar in the fridge. There is lots of pasta in the cupboard, and so on. And we can say there are lots of sweets in my bucket, and so on. So it can be for the countable and the uncountable nouns. Type. To make it negative بقى, I use what? When we change it to negative, we use much or many. For example, there is lots of pasta. To make it negative, there isn't much pasta. I change lots of to much. And then if I have there are lots of sweets, to make it negative, there aren't many sweets. I change lots of or a lot of into many. So to make it negative, if it is countable, like here, sweets, I change it into many. If it is uncountable, like pasta, I change it into much. This is when we talk about much and many, and we talk about a lot of and lots of, and how we make them negative using much and many. We are going to talk about the rest of the quantifiers, a few and a little. A few is for the countable noun, and we use it in the affirmative sentence and question. What about a little? A little is for the uncountable noun, and we use it for affirmative sentences and questions too. What about the negative to form them? The negative to form them, I will do like a little, like a lot of and lots of. I use the negative much or many. For a few, I use many. For the little, I use much. So a few is what? Countable, countable nouns, a little for uncountable nouns, and we use both of them for affirmative and question. Okay. طيب, to make it negative بقى, like I said, we use much or many. Like we have a few tables. We can say we don't have many tables. طيب, we eat a little pizza. What can we say? We don't eat much pizza. So when we make a negative for a few, which is countable, we use many. And when we make it a negative for a little, which is uncountable, we use much. I think it's very easy to differentiate between a few and a little and how we make it negative. Now we are going to talk about some and any and no. All of them are for the countable or the uncountable noun. We can use it for countable or for uncountable nouns. طيب, what is the difference between them? The difference between them, some is used for affirmative sentence, that means positive. It gives the positive meaning. What about any? Any, it's used with the negative sentence and the question. What about no? It's used with affirmative sentence. It's like some, but means what? Means negative. Type. Let's have example to know the meaning or to realize the meaning in a right way. For example, like for example, we have some chocolate. So here this means that we have some chocolate and we still have it as affirmative. It means positive thing. When I said we don't buy any clothes, or we didn't buy any clothes, it means that we didn't do this, and it is with the negative form. And I can make it with the question, like, did you have any money? So to make a question, I use any. And then we have no milk in the fridge. It's affirmative sentence, but when I add no, it means negative meaning. It means that there is no milk in the fridge. It means we don't have any milk in the fridge. So it's affirmative sentence, but gives the negative meaning. This is what I mean. Type. What about some? Some sometimes came with a question in a form of offer or request. We can use some in the question only if it is an offer or request. Like, would you like some tea? Here I use some. Or, could I have some bananas, please? So, this is the only way that I use some in the question. When I have a request or an offer, I use it with some. But all the time I use any in the question. But the only way or the only reason I use some is for an offer or request. I use it for this. Would you like some tea? Or could I have some bananas, please? Okay, this is all the quantifier that we have to know till now. Now we are going to know something more, which is called somebody or someone or anyone or no one. We are going to talk about them indefinite each one. Now, we are going to start with someone or somebody or something or somewhere. All of this are used in the positive sentence and it is singular. It is singular. Like when we said someone is hiding behind the tree. So it is used for the positive sentence and it is what? Singular. Like somebody took my jacket. I don't know this body, but he took my jacket. So this is someone or somebody. Or somewhere or something, I can say using the same item. What about any? Now we are going to talk about anyone or any or anywhere or anybody or anything. They are going to be used with question and negative sentences, and they are also singular. They are also singular, used as if they are he or she or it. Okay, so here, for example, does anyone know the answer? Or I didn't meet anyone in the street or anybody in the street. I didn't, it's negative, and here does is a question. So when I use anyone or anybody or anywhere or anything, I use it in the question form or in the negative form, and they are always singular. What about What about no one, nobody, nothing, or nowhere? They are in the affirmative sentence too, but we said that it must mean what? Negative meaning. And they are singular form. Like nobody was at home. It means that there is no one at home. And there is nothing to eat. That there isn't anything to eat. So they are in affirmative sentence, but they means what? Negative. By this we have the homework. Our homework will be today a little exercise in this book. This is choose one, and this is the duas shown. I will send a photocopy from these two exercises for you to answer them. And we have another exercise in the workbook, which is page 55. Page 55, exercise number 6. It talks about someone or no one or anybody. You are going to use any one of these items we have already discussed. Someone, somebody, something, or somewhere. And we can use anyone, anybody, anything, and anywhere. And no one, no, and nothing, and nobody. So you are going to answer using these words in this exercise. Thank you for your good listening, and see you the next time.